Episode 2: The Defensive versus Enterprising Investor. One of Benjamin Graham's most useful contributions wasn't a formula or a calculation. It was a question. A simple question he believed every investor should answer honestly before doing anything else. What kind of investor am I? Graham divided investors into two categories: the defensive investor and the enterprising investor. The defensive investor wants safety, stability, and a reasonable return without dedicating significant time or energy to the process. Not because they lack intelligence, but because they have other priorities: a career, a family, a business to run. Investing is important to them, but it is not their profession. The enterprising investor, Graham also called them the active investor, is willing to put in serious time and effort. They study companies in depth, monitor their portfolios actively, and treat investing almost as a second occupation. Notice what Graham did not say. He did not say the enterprising investor is smarter, braver, or more sophisticated. The distinction is purely about time and commitment, nothing else. This matters enormously because Graham believed most people overestimate which category they belong to. It's easy to feel like an enterprising investor in a bull market, when everything is rising and every decision looks clever. It is much harder to maintain that active, disciplined approach through a long downturn, a personal crisis, or simply the accumulated fatigue of years of careful analysis. Graham's advice was blunt. If you are not absolutely certain you will put in the work consistently over many years, in all market conditions, be a defensive investor. There is no shame in it. Done properly, it works. For the defensive investor, Graham prescribed a clear, rules-based checklist. Specific criteria for size, financial strength, earnings history, dividend record, and valuation. Meet the criteria, buy the stock, hold it. No excitement, no shortcuts. That checklist is the backbone of this curriculum, and we will walk through every item in detail. For the enterprising investor, Graham opened the door to deeper analysis: undervalued special situations, net stocks trading below liquidation value, companies in temporary distress, higher potential reward, but requiring genuine expertise and constant attention. This curriculum focuses primarily on the defensive investor approach because it is systematic, teachable, and proven. And because, if we are all honest, most of us are defensive investors. Here's the paradox that Graham identified, and that decades of market data have since confirmed. The defensive investor, precisely because they are not trading constantly, not reacting to every headline, not second-guessing their criteria, often outperforms the person who works far harder at it. Discipline beats activity. Consistency beats cleverness. A clear system, applied patiently, beats a brilliant mind that changes course every quarter. Graham saw this not as a surprising result, but as the entirely predictable outcome of removing emotion from the equation. In today's environment, with financial news running 24 hours a day, social media amplifying every market rumor, and trading apps designed to make buying and selling feel like a game, Graham's distinction is more valuable than ever. Knowing which investor you are is not a limitation. It is the foundation of a strategy that actually suits your life. And a strategy you will stick to is always worth more than a perfect strategy you will abandon. Episode 3, we turn to the two ideas at the very heart of Graham's philosophy: Mr. Market and the margin of safety. Two concepts so powerful that understanding them alone will change how you look at markets forever. See you there.